Hold up, people. Yeah, I know I don't like to edit. Let me come around, get myself situated. Coach Andre checking in with you. Always remember to train for life and train accordingly. Listen, people, we ain't gonna have no dry lips through the video either. All right. Really quick, I got some tips to share with you, man. Listen, you're 40 years old or you're 40 plus years old. You decide that, listen, I want to start getting the best shape possible. I want to start prioritizing my health. What? Congratulations. I'm excited because you're at an age where you need to do it, right? It should be priority, right? Especially if you're looking to live a quality life, don't want to be no cocktail of medication, and you want to be as functional as long as you possibly can be, right? So these are the tips, right? The number one thing I think you should prioritize, right? First of all, make sure your why. I've spoken about this on many other videos. Make sure your purpose behind wanting to get in shape is something that's really worth it. You want to get in the best shape because you want to be a little bit more active with your kids, right? Like I said, you're looking to live long, as long as possible. Longevity, something you want to start prioritizing. For all I know, you might have been diagnosed with something, right? So that's your motivation. So make sure that why is strong enough and close enough to you that it's going to keep you going throughout the process, right? That's one thing. Whatever it is that you decide to do on a daily basis in regards to activity or exercise, what it needs to do is make your daily intake of life a little bit simpler, right? Whatever it is you got to do, if you're walking a lot, if you're standing a lot, if you're, whatever it is, maybe you're sitting a lot for work. So it's important that your activity kind of helps you out as far as activating your glutes, activating your core. The third tip I would say, make sure whatever activity you do, make sure you're doing something in regards to increasing your muscle mass, right? Definitely recommend you trying to get stronger with some weightlifting, because as you get older, you're gonna need those muscles to ultimately be mobile, right? The muscles is what's gonna get you around if you wanna stay as functional as long as possible. Also talk about the impact that it's gonna have on you physiologically. So if you're at an older age, a lot of people always talk about, I'm getting older, I'm putting on weight. A lot of it's because you're decreasing in muscle mass. So if you're 40, and you want to start doing this thing, make sure you're doing something increasing your muscle mass as a whole. Another tip I want to say to you, make sure your workout is increasing your mobility, man, your functionality, a couple of things I've already talked about, right? You want to be able to move as much as you possibly. You want to be able to reach down and touch your toes, pick things up, you know what I mean? You don't want to tweak your back and hurt yourself just for the fact that you're trying to do the most simplistic thing, the most simple thing on a daily basis, all right? So make sure you're doing things that's going to keep your extensibility up to speed, keep you mobile and functional at all times. Obviously cardiovascular, right? You want to make sure the heart is a muscle, so you want to make sure you get the heart rate up every so often. So make sure you're doing something where you're definitely challenging the heart as well. All right. I just turned 44 years old. That's where the inspiration kind of come from. But these are the type of things I prioritize. I'm not out here trying to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger in his young days. I'm just trying to maintain some muscle mass at this point in my life, right? This is going to help me physiologically in my overall health, right? You got to be mobile and functional. You have to make sure you find something that is worthy of your time, something you love doing, something you don't mind doing consistently, because it's a lifestyle you're looking to implement. You want to be able to do it for as long as you can possibly do it, right? Definitely, if you're looking to lift weights and implement, weightlifting, bodybuilding, things like that, you want to make sure your nutrition or your intake kind of coordinates with that as well too. Making sure your rest as well, making sure you're giving yourself a decent amount of break from whatever activity it is that you're doing, if you're doing it consistently. So let's prioritize things like that. And these are just the things that I feel like are the most important things at this point in my life. No more the ego lifting. It's just more about just feeling my best, adding in, just kind of feeding into me, ultimately being my best on a daily basis. So Coach Andre checking in with you. Thank you for watching YouTube. Peace.